I can still remember what it feels like to actually be heartbroken. It was like my world was collapsing on itself as tears unstopping just kept falling through my eyes. I mean, that night, that week, and several months after. Because I was blaming myself that why would I confront him for cheating on me? And at the same time, I couldn't even wrap my head on the fact that how would somebody who had promised me heaven and earth, promised me he would stay with me, he would be there in the relationship, still cheat on me? Like, I couldn't just wrap my head on all through all of this. If you're currently going through a heartbreak or a difficult season right now, you are in the right video and I can actually feel your pain. I can't really say if I dealt with my heartbreak rightly during the time it happened. But one thing I know that I had at the back of my mind was that despite the fact that I was hurt and pained, I just knew that I don't want to be stuck in this particular state of brokenness and tears and frustration. No, I just know I don't want it to stay there, and I kept on trying and working on myself. And so in this video, I'll be sharing with you 5 effective ways to actually heal from a heartbreak, be it divorce, a broken heart in a relationship, or just a difficult season or difficult times for you in life. The first thing you actually need to do to heal from a heartbreak right now is to allow yourself to feel your emotion. This is the best you can actually do because it is like saying you acknowledge that there's an issue. Allowing yourself to feel your emotion is exactly saying you acknowledge that there's an issue. And it is when you acknowledge that there's an issue that you allow yourself to cry. Because at this state, you know you're broken. It's just like if you're hungry, you allow yourself to eat. But if you don't acknowledge the fact that you're hungry, even when you're feeling like your stomach is rumbling, you just feel your body is overreacting. No. At this point, when you allow yourself to feel your emotion, it allows you to cry when you need to. I can still remember the time I had this heartbreak. I would cry as many nights as possible. Like I would cry so much that I would start journaling things that I wrote several books. I can even still remember that my current husband now met several of the books that I actually wrote at the time of my heartbreak, because I was just pouring out my heart. Because around you that you can share your heart with, why not let go of the emotions, spill it out? If you need to cry, cry. If you feel like you're frustrated, you want to talk to somebody who you feel can strengthen you, go ahead and do it. If there's an activity that you feel you need to do to actually feel refreshed, to feel you and feel that you are in pain, please, as far as you know that it is not something dangerous and it is not something that is actually not going to be good when you think about it in the future, please do go ahead and do it. Just allow the emotion, let loose of that emotion, just let loose of the emotion. That is the best way you can actually heal from the heartbreak. The second thing you can actually do for yourself right now in this season of heartbreak is to give yourself self-care as much as possible. I know this is something difficult because what would actually flood your mind in this season is blame, guilt. You're worried, you're frustrated that what is next? Why did this happen to me? Why me? Like, out of all people, why is this happening to me? Why am I getting a divorce right now? Why am I getting an heartbreak? Why is life this difficult for just me and only me? I can actually feel your pain, but in the midst of it all, if you actually want to be able to bounce back from this situation and you don't want it to cloud you or override you, you need to actually tell yourself that you need self-care. I remember this was one of the things I did for myself. I started going out because I was overwhelmed with the heartbreak because we had so much of activities together. So I usually think that where do I actually want to go to that would not bring memories of him to me? This was just what clouded my mind, and the fact that I was thinking about that made me want to stay indoor. I didn't even watch church activities, I didn't want to go out to places, but I started telling myself that if I would actually be free, because I read several books that actually enlightened me that practicing self-care is one of the ways to heal. So I started thinking of it that if I would actually be able to have this healing, I would actually have to start doing things without even thinking about the fact that it will bring memories of him. If he brings memories, I cry and then I move on. So I started doing new hair because that was a season where I just stopped doing hair. I stopped even using perfume. I stopped using anything because eventually everything around me reminds me of him. I can literally remember the last time I wore the clothes and we met. So the thought of everything was just clouding for me. It was overwhelming. But as a gradual process, I started doing gradually. The day I feel like crying from wearing the clothes and I remember memories together, I would cry. The day I go to activities like church programs, I go to activities like programs and seminars, and I mean life-changing events that I would have even regret if I did not attend. But I took the bold step and started practicing self-care for myself, started using good perfume and telling myself that I am better than what I'm currently facing right now. I started telling myself that this is not just all of me and I need to explore all of me. So I took the bold step. I started going to those activities that I never want to go to. I started going to those things that I was actually telling myself that would remind me of him, and it's just a matter of time. I feel I was able to realize that I can actually live a life outside of what is breaking my heart or what is making me feel like there's no life again. I can ask, at least I have a life now, and it's much more better than what I even thought I had then. So the best thing I would say is take out your time, put it as a priority to take care of yourself this season that looks a little bit trickish and hard and cloudy and frustrating for you. Take out time, make it a deliberate effort to bathe, make it a deliberate effort to plait your hair, have your hair cut, have good perfume, like smell nice, wear nice clothes, and I mean just all of those good stuff, and you'll be finding yourself healing faster than you can imagine. The next bold step you actually need to take for your healing is setting boundaries. I mean, yes, set those boundaries. I can remember vividly, like the process when it felt like I was already healing and I was already excited with myself. I was already happy that, yeah, Temi, you did this, like you made this really happen, and I was super excited and happy. He showed up again. He came up on my Facebook and I was apologizing and saying it wasn't that way. He actually loved me. It was the girl and she has gone now. We can start all over. Whoop! I had to take the bold step of unfollowing him, deleting his contact. I mean, clearing everything that would actually bring his memories or even make me to reconsider him, because I just knew that this was my past and I'm free now and I don't want to be in it again. This was just me knowing that this particular issue is just in my past and I don't want to have anything to do with it again. Yes, you need to do that for yourself as well. Anything that is actually breaking your heart right now, I mean making your heart to be heavy and flooded, you need to actually set boundaries between you and them. If you have to unfollow them. If you have to delete contact, if you have to avoid some activities for the main time so that you can heal and be yourself and be firm and whole, some of those things might be necessary for you. Take those steps. I'm telling you that you actually can do it. Take those steps right now. Do it and give yourself that healing that you deserve. You actually deserve that healing. Another beautiful thing you need to actually do with this season of heartbreak and pain is that you learn from the experience. This is one of the best things that I'm actually grateful about for the heartbreak. It gave me room to actually be able to explore, because it was a time of alone, just me being with myself, crying and moody and writing. I mean, doing several nights of writing and saying, this is what I did wrong the first time, this is what I did right, and this is what I would repeat in my next relationship. It just gave me a room, like just for me to explore and rearrange myself. It gave me room to understand things that I shouldn't do. One of the major things I learned was prioritizing myself. I learned that in the past relationship, I didn't know what it means to actually love me as me. I was so much conscious about loving him more than loving myself. And I think God telling us to love ourselves, that was the season when I understand what it means when God told us that we should love ourselves and then extend the love to our neighbor, telling us to love our neighbor like ourselves. And that was the season when I began to practice it and saying that it is me first above any other thing, because every other thing might actually leave, but me will remain with me. And so this is one of the things that I learned that season. This is the best thing you can do with this your heartbreak season. Pick up the lessons from it, pick up the glorifying things, pick up the things you would do, pick up what you desire in a relationship, pick up what you desire with life, with finance. I mean, whatever it is that is breaking your heart right now, write out the lessons you learned, the things you did wrong, the things you did right, and you'll be surprised at how it will improve your mindset, reshape your life, and actually make it to become a better you. So for me, heartbreak seasons are actually a season where we actually rearrange things that need to be rearranged in our life. We put things in order, we make things to be put in. There are some things that you just do it unconsciously. Like for me, like I said, that I was just loving him unconsciously without knowing that I was leaving myself behind. It was at the time of the heartbreak that I discovered that I didn't even love me as much as I love him, and I begin to take it as a conscious effort. And now I am the priority in anything, because it is just me first and it is an extension of me that I give to every other thing. And this is the best thing you can do this season. Write out the things you learned, write out the things you won't do again, and what you actually want in a relationship or from the situation, a better shape you want. And you'll be surprised that by the time you'll be re-entering relationship or getting a better shape in life, marriage or other things like that, you'll be surprised that you'll be getting it right, because you've taken your time to heal and actually rearrange things the way they should be. The fifth thing that you actually need to do right now is to seek support. Yes, sometimes your support might be your friends, your family members. It might just be your group of people you can just express your heart to. But I actually understand that a season of heartbreak sometimes are even things you can't even dare tell a friend or tell a family member, and sometimes it might be necessary that you reach out to a counselor, a therapist, or just a group of society. That it may just be an online community support group where you people just discuss things out. Other women, other people in relationship, in life in general, discuss how they are solving life issues like this, like real life issues like this, and it strengthens you. Sometimes talking to a therapist would actually make things easy, as it makes your healing to be fast. Talking to a counselor would actually make breaking free from what you're currently in to be easy. Sometimes it is that very, very, very important. For me, one of the things that helped me heal at the time of this my heartbreak was entering several bookstores. I bought several books on how to heal from a broken heart, and I was amazed at how I was even finishing books of over 100 pages in just a day. Because one thing about me is that when I'm overwhelmed, when I'm down, I actually find it pleasurable to be alone. And one of the things I do is, instead of clouding my mind with negative things, I spend time reading things that can educate my mind, that can help me to heal, that can strengthen me. Because I actually find it hard to even express myself sometimes, and when I see that it is bottling me up, then I find someone to talk to. But most times I just get several books and just read what can be done, like what can be the next escape route, what can be the next life after this, what can be the next solution to the current thing that I'm actually going through. And this is the best thing you can do for yourself right now, that you're going through this heartbreak. Don't just bottle it up. Most times bottling it up and thinking it will go, sometimes you even think it has gone, and you'll be surprised that the next relationship you are getting into, you are still exhibiting the fear and the anxiety that you brought from the past heartbreak into this current relationship. This is not the person that offended you. So I would advise that you get educative things, you get solutions right now, even now that it is still fresh, so that you can heal the wound properly. Come to think about it, that you actually have an accident, and instead of you treating the wound and going to hospital to actually heal it and work on it, you just got home and tie it with a cloth, thinking it will just go. Sometimes you think it has gone, and you'll be surprised that after 1 month, when you'll be losing the wound up, you would actually be seeing that maggots and different mucus will be coming out of the wound. That's because it wasn't treated well. Sometimes it happens like that too in heartbreak. When you feel you are actually treating the heartbreak, you're treating your wound, you're treating what is hurting you, but what you're actually doing is covering it up. You're trying to bottle it, you're trying to keep it to yourself and saying, I can handle it, when you're actually very sure that you're not handling it. So I would advise that if you need support system, reach out to one, reach out to a counselor, reach out to a therapist, reach out to family and friends, reach out to support group, and get courses and books and things that you know that are actually very relevant to you. And with all of this, you will actually be able to heal faster. And in case you're currently in this kind of situation, heartbreak and pain and frustration, and wondering what next, I actually have a video for you where I explain everything that you actually need to know to heal from a broken relationship, to heal from heartbreaking relationship. I mean, every of the bases you need without even struggling to join the pieces together. Or if you would like me to actually talk to you, the link to the video is in the description, and the links that you can actually use to reach out to me are also in the description of this video. Just go check it out and you would be able to reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is TemyNna. Remember that healing from a broken heart actually requires you to allow yourself to feel your emotion. Also practice self-care. Ensure that you also take note of the things you learned from this season of heartbreak. Don't forget to set boundaries for yourself and reach out to a support group or support system when you actually need it. I'm sure you learned a thing or two from this video, or if you have tips or special stories that you would like us to learn from, don't forget to add it to the comment section, or something that you actually really learned from this video, ensure you also add it to the comment section. And if you would like to see beautiful content like this from me, ensure you subscribe to this channel so that you'll be the first person YouTube will be showing this to when I create beautiful content like this for you. Don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe, as it tells the algorithm that these are beautiful content that need to be shared with others, and I'm sure you want to do the good work of sharing this video with others. Until next time, bye.